So, if your clone gets a bone, can you say that you made a hard copy? And welcome to our channel. I'm Dan.
And I'm Prams.
And if you're wondering what the is going on, do not let the studio fool you. Yes, it's a bit blue. Yes, it's bland. And you're wondering, okay, I clicked on this colourful thumbnail and it's full of action. It's full of colour. It's full of mystery. And then you end up in a corner of a bedroom. That's okay. We're a new channel. And actually, we're going to be upgrading our studio soon. To another bedroom.
A better bedroom.
A better bedroom, yeah, with more light, more blue. So stick with us because we've actually got a crazy story and that's what we do, isn't that right, Prams?
That's it. We tell wild stories from around the world and then we get even wilder questions and commentary by this guy.
Yeah, because the crazy stories just aren't crazy enough for me, you know, bland, boring, but actually they're pretty wild. And they've been documented in history, I would say most of them.
History or TikTok.
But this is they've been documented somewhere. This one, I believe, has been documented.
This one was, I found on TikTok.
Embarrassingly so.
Speaking of TikTok, don't you love how little it takes for the internet to go into like full tinfoil hat mode?
Oh yeah, I'm all about that life, to be honest. You know, a bee could fly in front of me and I'd be like, well, that's a UFO straight off the bat.
If you can't identify it, it is an unidentified flying object.
They're like, it's a bee. I'm like, don't tell me what it is. It's an unidentified flying object. No, it's been identified.
Not by me,
Not
sir.
by me.
Not by me.
There you go, it's a UFO.
Sometimes, apparently all it takes is bees. But other times, all it takes is celebrities looking slightly different for the internet to spiral. For example, Jim Carrey walked onto a stage in Paris to accept a trophy at the Caesar Awards a few weeks ago. And almost immediately, the internet noticed something strange. His face looked different. A little puffier, maybe. His movement's slower than the wild, rubber-faced person you remember from like Ace Ventura or The Mask. And then he stepped up to the microphone and delivered his entire speech in French. And for some reason, this absolutely broke people's brains. Apparently, the idea that a man in his 60s might have had some plastic surgery and learnt a bit of French was far less believable than the alternative. So the internet proposed the only feasible explanation. Maybe that wasn't Jim Carrey.
Maybe it wasn't. I mean, who knows? But I do love how the internet just breaks out into wild conspiracy theories. I mean, everybody's a forensic scientist. You know? Everybody's a forensic scientist. Even that guy who lives at his mum's house and is 45.
Especially those guys are the forensic scientists. So if you're watching, I believe you.
Yeah, they've probably got nothing else better to do than just to watch just to watch TV and surf the internet. They haven't got a lot to do, right?
Don't be knocking our main client base down.
It's like, Dan, that's you as well. You're speaking about yourself.
That's some heavy projection going on right there.
That's it. I mean, it's quite impressive that he learned or spoke the entire thing in French. I guess Americans just thought it was like posh English or something. Okay, it's say if he did have some plastic surgery just to try to make himself a bit more youthful or whatever. I mean, that's just never happened in Hollywood before, has it? You know?
I guess people were like, no, they got Jim Carrey too because he was so anti-Hollywood, anti-establishment, you know?
Yeah, but his face is always on camera and there's some judgmental fucks out there. You know, literally now they're just, he just went to accept an award rather than like, oh, Jim Carrey's won an award, well done him. It's, who is this imposter, you know? He mentioned he was like, speaking a bit slowly. Maybe he had an award rehearsed. He just learned French, so he's speaking slowly. He's probably had a few cocktails. We all do it, especially in awards. If he's up there like, I am happy to accept this award, bonjour. And he's slurring his speech. maybe there's a few too many. You know, there's a lot going on. Especially if there are people judging him like that, then of course he's going to hit the bottle. I would. I want to hit the bottle now. Who's judging me?
I mean, that is one possible explanation, but it's not the only one. The screenshots started circulating online, side-by-side comparisons of then and now. And people kept asking the same question. Is that actually him? According to some TikTokers, the real Jim Carrey had disappeared years ago. Maybe a body double wearing prosthetics. Or maybe a clone.
Everybody loves a good conspiracy. I love a good conspiracy. And if anyone could afford a clone, it's probably Jim Carrey.
That's it.
I mean, I don't blame him. If the paparazzi are like that, send the clone out, deal with it,
Yeah,
you know?
that's it.
Take it one step further. Mrs. is banging on about the orchestra. Get the clone to send her, you know. Take the missus for me while you clone. Maybe he's using the clone a bit too much. You know, the clone is going to Jim Carrey, and it's like, look, your mum wants to know why you don't call her. And he's like, look, just handle it. Just don't call her, though. But what if then he comes clean and he tells his wife? Maybe he surprises her like a birthday gift. He has the clone like jump out of a birthday cake, you know, nipple tassels on, squirty cream covering his you know what. Now she's got two Jim Carreys. Who doesn't want two Jim Carreys?
It's kind of like the opposite of that movie, Me, Myself, and Irene.
Yeah, but they're exactly the same. They don't have different personality. If you have a personality disorder, you got a bit of a problem. You know. You know, could really like double down on this. Probably start exploring OnlyFans. You know, two Jim Carreys.
My God, even one Jim Carrey would be like a cash cow on OnlyFans.
It's like two Carreys, one girl, like that other unnamed video that's out there.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Someone will know. Someone will know. Two Carreys, one girl.
I know what you're talking about, babe. I just said that, but it's obvious.
We'll keep that in.
Look, I know it sounds ridiculous to you, but it's only because you haven't spent enough time on the internet.
I've spent a lot of time on the internet.
That's still not enough.
In the deep recesses of the internet. If I will find a clone, you know, that'd be the least of my worries.
Good. Strap yourselves in, okay? Because apparently, Jim Carrey isn't the only celebrity who's been secretly replaced. Some people believe Selena Gomez was replaced with Gina Davis. Others insist Kanye West has been replaced with a clone who occasionally malfunctions. And somewhere on TikTok is a 20-minute video explaining why Ariana Grande is actually an alien.
I can believe the Kanye West one, to be honest. I would say that was a fact, you know? Yeah. But I feel like with Kanye West, they just skipped quality control and just went straight to shipping with him.
That's it.
Here's your clone. It's malfunctioning already. No one will know the difference.
No manufacturer's warranty on that one.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, with him, he just looks like he's just always operating on like 3% battery. You know, he's just always stuck in buffering. Is this a clone still? Made him sound like a robot.
Yeah, true.
And I guess with Kanye West one, I mean, is smiling extra with this clone? Because he's a right miserable bastard.
Is fashion sense also optional? I don't know. Some of those Yeezy choices, man.
I love how we're just ripping on Kanye West. His clone is just his personality that we're ripping on. It's like, actually, it's an absolute like for like. This is what we had. You know? We just dialed sense of humor right down.
At this point, the pattern is almost predictable. A celebrity changes, fans feel uneasy, and someone proposes the same explanation. They've been replaced. But here's the interesting part. The idea of replacing a person or cloning them didn't begin on the internet, and in one strange moment in the early 2000s, a company claimed that they'd actually done it. Our story really begins in 1996, when scientists in Scotland announced to the world the birth of a sheep named Dolly. Now, Dolly wasn't famous for anything she did. She was famous for how she was created, meaning scientists had taken DNA from one sheep and used it to clone another sheep that was genetically identical. For the first time in history, cloning a complex animal had actually worked. And almost immediately, a new question appeared. If scientists could clone a sheep, could they not clone a human? I mean, officially, the answer was no. It's ethically questionable, legally restricted, and scientifically complicated. But in 2002, a small company announced something shocking. They had created the first human clone.
Ooh, this is getting interesting now.
Ooh, spicy.
I don't even know what the laws would be around that.
I think it depends on the country, but I'm sure probably in most of them they're highly illegal.
What about the other laws? Hear me out. Imagine you got a clone, and you like the look of your clone, and then one thing led to another, and then
God.
and then maybe just like one of you gave each other a handy. That's my first question.
Was that even a question? I don't think that was a question.
Question 2. So say that clone is threatening to tell your wife, to take your life, destroy your life, and let them know what happened in the changing rooms that time. Because for some reason you're there with your clone, and this is where the adultery happened. So then you have no other choice but to silence that clone forever. It's gonna kill him. So where would the law be with that one? Asking for a friend.
You probably can't kill your clone. Okay. We'll start with that.
Okay. What about getting handies? That would be a weird situation to happen. It's almost like when you're growing up and you're practicing kissing on the mirror. Is that the same thing? I don't know. These are the kind of things that keep me awake at night.
I'm sure lots of people ask this question, actually.
Yeah,
I don't think it's like...
If you know the answer, let us know.
Jim Carrey, give us a call. Let us know what you and Carrey too.
Yeah. Nipple tassel clone. How's it going? Is she happy? Is she happier than she's ever been? Maybe she does. She's got a double trouble now. She's got two Jim Carreys.
That's it.
You know, Ace Ventura on one side, the mask on the other.
Me, myself, and Irene in like, that's it.
Too much where you need 3. Oh no, it is 2, isn't it?
No, it's 3. No, there was 2. You're right. Wait. Yeah, there was 2.
Yeah, there was 2. Okay.
Irene was the 3rd.
Okay. I'd rather the mask in Ace Ventura though. Stick with those characters for now. And then they can literally just be always the mask, be always the Ace Ventura. Actually, just be my favourite characters. You want to be Cable Guy? You could be Cable Guy. I like Dumb and Dumber as well. You know, try that on for size. You know, and just have like an army of Jim Carreys.
Are you saying make a clone for every Jim Carrey movie that's ever existed?
Yeah, or only the good ones.
Now back to the good shit.
Let's go.
The company was called Clonaid, and its founders were connected to a religious movement called the Raelians, a group that believed that humanity was originally created by extraterrestrial scientists. That's right, aliens. Which, depending on how you look at it, is either the most or least reassuring background for a biotech company. But in December 2002, Clonaid held a press conference that immediately made global headlines. They announced that the first human clone had been created. A sweet baby girl. They called her Baby Eve. According to the company, the child had been created using DNA from her mother, meaning like genetically, she wasn't her daughter. She was her, like an identical version of her, just in baby form. The announcement spread across the globe. When news networks picked it up, scientists demanded proof, and governments started asking questions. If it were true, human history had just changed forever. I
mean, if the government's asking questions, this only means one thing, doesn't it? They want to turn it into a weapon.
100%. That's another
literally
CIA.
Not the fact
what?
that you broke any moral rules or guarantee laws. It's like, hey, can we duplicate loads of soldiers? Can we make ourselves an army of Jim Carreys? That's what we need to know.
I would be terrified of an army of Jim Carreys.
Yeah, 1 minute he's making you laugh, the next minute he's shanking you.
That's what they call psychological warfare, man. Like, straight up, man.
Yeah. I'm like, I can't kill Jim Carrey. It's Jim Carrey. There's another Jim Carrey. And then
I mean, in The Mask, didn't he swallow a grenade and, like, defuse it?
Yeah. Well, you think that you could just clone that version?
Yeah, and then his arms turned into machine guns or something? I would 100% clone the Mask version of Jim Carrey. Yeah, he was the most powerful.
Yeah, but also at the same time, you know, he's turning himself into a dog and going, oh, and his heart's beating fast, you know? He's like, oh, kill them. And it's like, what are you doing, you know?
I mean, in The Mask, he was literally like a god, or he was wearing the mask of a god. Like, you would have god weapons, you know, god clone weapons. I can't think of a better idea, honestly.
And look, and if we're not allowed to do that, we can clone animals. Clone the masked dog at least. You know, that was pretty solid. You know, he was running rings around those bad guys, you know, that mafia. So yeah, send the masked dog in, you know.
I mean, you can't clone your dogs these days. You can clone your dead pet.
Yeah.
You know, that's a service they provide. Apparently, like within 5 days of your pet passing, if you give them the genetic material, they can make a genetic identical model copy.
As you're saying that, our dog is here. Don't say it too loud.
We're eyeing him down right now.
Don't worry. You go back to sleep.
Wouldn't it have been amazing if they had cloned a real human? But you see, then the proof never appeared when people kept asking Clonaid for the actual evidence that Eve was a clone. Clonaid promised DNA tests, independent verification, scientific reports, but the evidence was always coming soon. Days and weeks passed, and eventually the story simply faded away. Most scientists concluded that the claim was almost certainly a hoax. No verified human clone had ever been confirmed. At least, not publicly.
By Clonaid. Sounds like a knockoff medicine.
Yeah, like that's it. Band-Aid, Clonaid.
Yeah, like what are the side effects? There's 2 of you.
You're seeing double.
You're seeing double. It's like, no, that's actually just twice. That's what we do here.
Constant desire to give each other handies.
So you're saying that I could go to Clonaid and like get a clone of myself?
I mean, officially no.
But unofficially?
Maybe, probably.
It's probably not something the world wants. I don't think they even want one of me.
One of you is,
double up, baby.
Is already too much to handle. So.
Well, that's it. Wait until you get 2 of me.
I actually wouldn't mind 2 of you.
Well, the thing is, like, what would you use it for? I mean, I know
what I'd use it for.
Steady. You got too excited then. Okay, let's bring it down. I guess it's a bit of a weird one having a clone, but if I had to go to work, I'd for sure as shit send my clone.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Who wouldn't?
But I know mine would be the one that would be malfunctioning like Kanye West. It'd be pulling a Kanye West on me. You know, I can just imagine that my clone, you know, we're working from home. You know, he's on the camera though, and he's in a meeting. It's all going well. I'm in the corner. I'm off screen. I'm playing PlayStation likely.
Of course.
You know, and it's all going well. And then all of a sudden, I just hear him say something like, "Battery low, HR violation, boner alert." And I'm like, oh shit. What's going on? You know, and then all of a sudden I'm like wrestling him off camera and I'm like choke holding him out. And then I climb back up to my chair and they can just see all this. You just see my head come back up, you know, but I'm all flustered, you know. I'm wearing a completely different top to what I started. And they're like, did you just say boner alert twice? I'm like, Nah. I said owner alert. You know, all about that leadership, am I right? Like, is it getting hot in here?
I have 2 comments about your hypothetical scenario.
Okay, go for it.
Comment 1. I don't think clones have batteries. I think you're thinking about robots.
Well, like I said, I get the broken one, you know, I get the one that's like
That needs a battery. For some reason. It just needs a battery.
It's a cheap one as well. It doesn't last that long and is liable to malfunction as soon as the battery runs out. That'll be mine. You know, that's the one that I can afford. I've got like an hour of play a day with it, you know.
Your clone sounds like that robot thing that Todd made in BoJack. What was it called? Like Mr. Fonzicle or something? Like the CEO robot who's like, I want to fondle you. I want to fondle you.
That's what I would end up with. I'm like, look, we didn't send it to you this way. What have you done to it?
Yes,
like, you've had it a week. Like, what have you done about? Look, I know. Like,
it's like they learn from its environments. I kept trying to give it handies, you know, and then all of a sudden, he's getting random bonus everywhere.
Yeah, and then can you do that thing as well? Like, you can say, oh, well, my package never came, and I'm like, oh, okay, we'll send you another one out, and just keep getting multiple ones, you know. But like, well, it was never there. You said it was next to the bin, wasn't there? And then also now just got like
an army of Dan.
Yeah, exactly.
Dan army.
Yeah.
Oh dear. And I also feel like you're forgetting the fundamental aspect of Dan, is that he hates being told what to do. So do you think your clone would respect or respond to you telling him what to do? You're like, go to work. He'll be like, hell no. Don't tell me what to do. I know, go do the opposite thing. Come on, Dan. This is Dan 101.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, I don't want it to have the same personality as me.
Oh my God, no one wants that.
I would never get it to do anything. I want it to shut the up and it would just not do anything that I asked it to do. It'd be a nightmare. It'd be a nightmare. I'd have to take it out like within an hour. I'm like, this is not going to work. You know?
Even though human clones weren't officially in existence, it left an uncomfortable idea. Even if Clonaid was lying, the science itself wasn't impossible anymore, which means the internet's favorite clone conspiracy theory isn't completely absurd, just mostly. So when people stare at footage of Jim Carrey in Paris trying to figure out why he looks slightly different, I mean, it's probably just aging, or lighting, or plastic surgery. Or maybe it's a clone.
I have a question. If your clone gets a boner...
Oh my God, not this again. Why do we keep coming back? There are so many interesting questions you can ask about clones. Why are you asking about clone boners? They operate exactly the same way as a human boner. They are humans.
This is a legal question. Okay, can I ask my legal question?
I am not qualified in clone law boners.
Am I allowed to ask my question?
Oh my God.
It's a good question.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. So, if your clone gets a boner,
God.
can you say that you made a hard copy?